What did my dog find buried in the backyard that made me sell my house? I got my dog Copper last year after living in my house for 3 years. He was a rescue mutt. The backyard was fenced in and perfect for him to run around. For the first few weeks, everything was normal. Then he started digging. Not random holes everywhere. The same exact spot, every single day. Right corner of the yard under the old oak tree. I would fill it in and he would dig it right back up. Nothing I did stopped him. He was obsessed with that spot. After 2 weeks, I finally had enough. I grabbed a shovel one Saturday morning and told him fine. Let's see what he wanted so badly. I figured there was a dead animal down there driving him crazy. The soil was soft and easy to move. About 2 feet down, my shovel hit something metal and the sound made me freeze. I brushed away the dirt and pulled out a rusted metal box about the size of a storage trunk. It had a padlock, but the lock was rusted and broke right off. I opened it right there in the yard. Inside were children's shoes. I felt sick. Tiny ones for toddlers and bigger ones for older kids. All left shoes, and I counted 10 of them. Each one had a name written inside in black marker. Timothy, Lorraine, Wesley, Heidi, names I did not recognize. Some had dates. The oldest said 1981. The newest said 2019. My hands started shaking so badly I almost dropped the box. I looked at Copper. He was sitting there wagging his tail like he just found me a present. I carried the box inside and called the police with trembling fingers. 2 officers showed up an hour later. The younger officer opened the box and the color drained from his face. He started pulling out shoes one by one. These have names in them and dates, he said quietly, and I could hear his voice cracking. The older officer picked up a tiny leather shoe and read the name inside. His whole body went rigid. Call Detective Harris, now. His voice was shaking. Tell him this matches the case we have been following. The younger officer was already on his radio. I heard him say the address, and then he said something that made my blood run cold. Sir, there are dozens of them. 20 minutes later, my street was filled with police cars. A detective came to my door and his face was hard. A little girl went missing 2 months ago from 3 blocks away. 7 years old. All we found was her shoe. He stepped closer to me. Now we find 43 more shoes buried in your yard. How long have you lived here? I could barely speak. 3 years. I bought the house 3 years ago. I did not know about any of this. He wrote something down. You called this in yourself. Killers do that sometimes. Think it makes them look innocent. My legs almost gave out. I am not a killer. I just found these today. He stared at me. You are not leaving this property. If you try to leave, we will arrest you. They made me sit on my porch while they tore apart my yard. Every officer who walked past looked at me like I was guilty. One of them said something to his partner, and I heard the words child killer and wanted to throw up. They brought out dogs and worked until dark. Then one officer called everyone over to the far corner of the yard. They were all gathered around something and digging carefully. I could barely get air into my lungs because if they found that little girl's body, I was going to prison for the rest of my life. An officer walked over holding a small metal tin. He opened it in front of the detective. Inside were old coins and a faded photograph of a little girl in a white dress who could not have been more than 5 years old. Who is she? The detective asked. I shook my head. I do not know. I swear I do not know. They kept digging. They find nothing else. The officers leave, but they keep everything for evidence. I do not sleep for 3 days because every time I close my eyes, I see those tiny shoes with names written inside and that little girl in the white dress. Then a detective shows up at my door. He looks exhausted, like he has not slept either. Can I come in? He asks softly. We sit at my kitchen table and he pulls out a folder. His hands are steady, but his eyes look tired and sad. The previous owner was named Gerald. He ran a shoe repair shop for 50 years downtown. He pauses and looks at me. We found 10 right shoes in his old shop. Each one matches a left shoe from your yard. All the names matched children who were his customers going back to 1981. I stare at him and my hands feel cold. What about the tin? The one with the little girl's picture? The detective's face darkens and his jaw tightens. We do not know who she is. Gerald never married and had no family we could find. He closes the folder and stands up. His voice is quiet. Nothing about this makes sense. I am sorry. I sold the house that week and never looked back.